Yep. All right. Well, let's go into some real world celebratory probate disasters. So, Prince.
Celebratory or celebrity?
Celebrity. It's not celebratory when they passed away. You know, this word is my nemesis today.
I know.
Now I am self-conscious about trying to say celebrity.
Go back to the F reorg.
Celebrity. Yeah, no lie. Stay in your lane.
Code.
All right. Prince died 2016. No will, no trust, nothing. Estate was estimated to be worth $200-300 million. Right after he dies, what happens? Over 45 people came in and said, hey, I'm supposed to be an heir to the estate. This is what happens in probate. It becomes public that, obviously Prince was worth a lot of money. But for example, if Jim Dew passed away and then it's, oh, wow, this guy's actually worth a lot of money, people will come out of the woodworks of like, back in high school, Jim told me he would give me 10% of whatever he had. And now you have to go defend all of this in court. So that's why keeping it secretive, private, using trust is.
I used to party
important.
like it was 1999. Shouldn't I get a piece of this?
Exactly. There you go. You owe someone some beer money and compound that with the inflation. So this legal battle lasted 6 years and it was tens of millions of dollars of fees. So Prince had nothing set up. That one was bad. I think what I believe is one of the most famous ones is Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson was halfway there. He had what a lot of entrepreneurs had. He had a trust, but he never funded it. So he never retitled his assets into the trust. So the piece of paper was worthless. The trust paper was worthless. So this has been 15 years and tens of millions of dollars later, and still they're fighting it out. It's close to wrapped up. I think it's hard to see exactly where this is in the courts, but again, brutal because, how are you worth $500 million and your advisors don't confirm that you funded your trust? It's one of the first things that we do when we're going through our entrepreneur situations.
Yeah. I know you got Heath Ledger down here. James Gandolfini is another one where that whole thing was a mess and his daughter was going to get a huge chunk of money at age of majority. And yeah, it's shocking because these people have all kinds of advisors around them that this stuff wouldn't get done. But, I think it just goes to show that people just don't think they're going to die.
Yep. And then I think a common theme is we often hear, well, hey, Jim, I'm single, so I don't really need this stuff, right? So only 26.7% of singles have a will. And I think you and I would both argue that those people are generally at even more risk because the state laws then apply to who gets to handle your affairs if you pass away or incapacitated. And to your point, if you had a significant other, but it's not memorialized and documented, the hospital or no one else is going to know. And now, maybe your estranged mom or dad or sibling is now in charge of your entire estate or your situation.
Well, if you think about singles, the two landmark cases in the last 50 years about the living will were two women in their 20s. So the most recent one was Terry Schiavo, and that went, to the Congress of Florida. It became this huge thing, this legal battle between the husband and the parents. And if Terry Schiavo would have just completed this living will, which is just a couple of 2 or 3 page document, she would have said, here are my wishes, and it would have ended all of that mess that happened. So single people need this. Think about decisions in the hospital. Well, who's going to make decisions? If you're a single person, maybe you don't get along with your mom or dad. Maybe they show up at the hospital. Who's that person going to be? And you need to designate that. So single people, married people, people with kids, people without kids, everybody needs basic estate documents.
Yep, 100%. All right, question to ask your state attorney: is my trust actually funded? So I think that is a takeaway. Most of our entrepreneurs do have trusts set up. I'd say maybe about 50 to 60% of them are actually funded. So I think for most people watching, viewing this, that's the actionable takeaway here. If you don't have any documents, get documents in place. If you do have documents, confirm that those trusts are actually funded.
And you know what? Usually estate attorneys don't even know if they're funded, because often they just give a bunch of instructions and say, go fund your trust. So how can you know? Look at the quitclaim deed on your house to see how is your home deeded. Is that in the trust or not? Look at statements from your brokerage account. So if it just has your name or your spouse's name, it's not in the trust. Or if it's just in an individual name. IRAs are different and 401ks are different. They have beneficiaries, and you may or may not want to name a trust as a beneficiary. That's probably a whole nother podcast that we should talk about beneficiaries. But just check those things in the statements that you get to see, is this stuff in there? Is my bank account in there or not? And if it's not, get it in there.
Yep.